Alright, gents, wanted to create this video this morning just so we could go about our merry way today and not be tied to a strict timeline trying to get together for teams. We can do that a little bit later on, but I wanted to at least get this pushed out. So before we get into what I have actually up on the screen here, I'll just talk about the way ahead, just to re-emphasize that. So to go forward, what I'd like to do is spend the rest of this month, I'll put an Excel spreadsheet together, so that way we can have something to work on July, August, and September. Those 3 months we need to capture maybe 3 nights a week, some of the data points that we need to analyze to refine the approach a little bit better. So I'll work on that, get that out, and then hey, whenever we're capturing the data points, you don't have to do that in real time. You can go back the prior night and pull it up and capture the data points. That way you spend 10 or 15 minutes instead of sitting in front of the monitor 2 hours to capture this stuff. Once we get data points captured, we'll know probably month 2 or so how the data points are looking. That final month won't be nearly as important if we get everything captured. I'll be gone July, August, and September, so I'll be back should be back at home October, November, and December, so that time period we can use to actually put it into practice, real-time trading, 2 hours a night, 8 to 10 p.m. Alright, so let's get started. Yeah, Bitcoin just looks nasty right now, and of course altcoins are getting killed too, so that H pattern is still trying to work itself out on the daily time frame. This is exactly what it's supposed to look like. Would have preferred that H pattern would have resolved back in here, but no such joy. We cleared that time frame there. We're on a daily time frame right now. We cleared that close, but we only got about 5 days above that, and it just fell back down. So yeah, they're not finished selling it yet. That's just the way it is. So we'll see if we get another exacerbated move down to break this low right here, scare everybody, and then go back up. All right, so let's take a look at some of the things I've got up here. I'll go through this quickly. All right, what we're talking about is creating an income stream. So can an income stream be created in just 2 hours a day, 5 days a week? Yes, in theory. I could cite several instances where professional traders do it all the time using a variety of methods. We'll talk through that here in just a second. But yeah, in theory it can. In practical experience, it has been done for years, if not decades, by, like I said, professional traders. Can somebody start with $1,000 and create that stream of income? And if so, what's the path? Well, we're going to choose crypto short-term trading because it can be done outside of normal work hours. The 2 hour time frame for the preponderance of the US, that 8 p.m. Eastern time to 10 p.m. kind of sets us up in a pretty good time window for most of the US. How long would it take to turn $1,000 into something substantial? We'll flash up the money management algorithm here in just a minute, but yeah, 3 to 5 years with $1,000 if the theory proves out. You could be setting on a substantial sum to potentially, change your life, for going forward. If the theory is proven, can there be a second stream of income generated? Yes. So if the theory is proven out that we can create a consistent income stream using crypto, very methodical method, something easy for people to follow. Can't be investment advisors. We could never tell anybody that to follow what we're doing. They could or to buy or sell something, but they could certainly follow along. And if that theory is, if we can prove it out, by all means, you can create a second stream of income. So that's really what this is all about. In worst case, doesn't really work out, you at least have a good background to further your own trading careers. So second block down here, it's just a little more elaboration. 2 hours a day requires a very responsive method. So the way I trade in my personal accounts, I have multiple methods that I trade. Very short term. The shortest term model I have when I trade full time and I'm in front of a screen, it's called Project 5110, and it's very, very responsive. It identifies a trend quickly, a pullback quickly, and a chance to take a very small amount of money out of the market in a very short period of time. And that's what you're looking for here. So I don't use my Project 5110 in my longer term swing trading and things like that, simply because there's better methods for longer term trading to do. But for short term, you got to have something very responsive, and I'll show you that. Number of opportunities is critical. So something that generates one trade every 2 hours, that's not a 2 hour method, that's just an entry for a swing trade. But we're looking to be able to get in and out very quickly, and if we're wrong, we need multiple opportunities to try to get back to good and turn a profit. So inside that 2 hour period, what I'm looking for is 5 to 12, somewhere in that range, numbers of opportunities. And that gives you plenty of ability to navigate the different changes back and forth. 0.5% per night is kind of the threshold that you need after commissions and fees to really turn that 1,000 into something 3 to 5 years down the road. Again, start with 1,000. Next section, we have to know the maximum adverse excursion and maximum favorable excursion. So let's say if we have an entry right here at the close of this green bar, and our stop loss is a close below that, then our maximum favorable excursion would be this high. That's what I'm talking about. Entry point to the highest point in a long position before it actually breaks down. And then a close below that, we want to know what that maximum adverse excursion is. If our line here is our stop loss and we're only going to exit on a close, I want to know what that is. And we sum all that up and we'll get a good average, and that will determine a favorable stop loss. It just works the opposite for a short trade. So maximum favorable, long entry, how high does it go? You're not going to get out there, but how high does it go before it careens and goes back through your stop point, and what that close is. Anyway, I'll define all that in the Excel spreadsheet. And then, of course, we already talked about number of opportunities, so that's self-explanatory. Okay, so the trading method can be a combo of trend retracements and top and bottom entries. Those are really the best for short-term trading, very short-term like what we're doing, and trading in 2 time frames for your tactical entries. It's the best. So 5-minute chart for trend detection, 1-minute chart for entries, and should provide plenty of setups inside of a 2 hour period to get that 0.5% or more. We're shooting for 1%, but 0.5% is the fallback. So and you see that last line there, 30-minute and 4-hour are used to increase the bet side when everything is lined up. So that's kind of what I want to talk about right now. I'm going to go elaborate on that just a little bit. All right, we're at 10 minutes. Okay, so let's go down to the 4 hour. The 4 hour is what I call the campaign mode. When you're short-term trading, even swing trading, you want to know what the 4 hour in stocks, futures, crypto. Crypto guys really latched onto the 4 hour time frame, but that's been something very, very well known for a lot of traders that swing trade. All right, so we're in the 4 hour time frame. The campaign just tells us where the big money is pressing things. Let me explain the indicators I have here. So this line here is called the Gann high-low. I use the Gann high-low, a variation of that, in my very shortest term trading, in my Project 5110. You can see here in the 4 hour time frame how it captures, the trend. So this other line is it's called a MAMA FAMA by, depending on which software platform you look at. Here it's Eller's Mother of Adaptive Moving Averages. So if you don't know John Ehlers, he's a no kidding rocket scientist in California. He's been in the trading realm. He turns his rocket science into trading indicators and systems. He's been doing that for 20 plus years. I really like the MAMA FAMA for trend identification, short-term trading. So you can see here when the MAMA FAMA crosses through, I'm not looking for this cross here. I'm looking for the Gann high-low. This is set for 13 periods, the Gann high-low is. So anytime one of those high-low thresholds is crossed, then it switches and it prints the high. So this is the 13 period high right here that it's tracking. And this is, once it breaks through and a 13 period high is breached, then it plots the 13 period low. It just continues doing that. It stays with the trend very, very easily. I use this in my swing trading as well, shorter time frame, but I also color the paint the bars as well. So in my personal trading, these all bars would be red right here because they're down. These would all be green because they're up. And all right, so how I use the MAMA FAMA, and again, I'm showing you trading tactics. I just want to explain these indicators. So here we have a short market. Market's in a downtrend. There's no guessing about whether a market's in an uptrend or downtrend with this. It's kind of like the ribbons. I love the ribbons. I use that in my swing trading. But again, we're trying to synchronize everything for a very, very short-term time frame methodology. You'll see how it all comes to play. So I want you to keep this in mind. Whenever we're in a downtrend and the price pokes its head above the MAMA FAMA, that's setting you up. That's your setup for a potential move down. Pokes its head up, high probability move to the downside. That's all we are looking for on the shorter time frames. All right, so let's visit this indicator here. So this is just a multi-time frame MACD. That's all that is. Let me see. I think we're finished with this. Let me go ahead and close this out. We'll expand this out a little bit better. Yeah, there we go, because I'm going to need two screens. I have an indicator that I use in my TOS platform that really is probably the best. It's the best indicator I've ever used in 39 years of doing this stuff, especially for multi-time frame trading. I can't show it to you here, but this is as close as I can get that anything I've found in the TradingView thing that replicates what I'm using in TOS. But what I want you to see is this thing has a tendency to lead you into, set you up for potentially a down move. You see here where it's saying, hey, we might be at a top here. It breaks down, you really get confirmation there. You can kind of, if you see this on a 4 hour, you can kind of start setting yourself up better for the shorter time frames. Anyway, that's kind of what this is for. You just want to it's confirming everything on the downside there. The lower prices, yeah. No, we don't know where it's going to stop, but definitely lower prices coming. Okay, the 4 hour time frame is nothing more than awareness. You just want to know, hey, is the 4 hour up or down? That's it. It's not going to factor in to your trading decisions on the 5 minute, 1 minute. Where the 4 hour comes into play is, let's go down to the 30 minute time frame. All right, you see we've had a lot of choppy trade in here on the trend, but you can see the same thing working out. Pops it on the 30 minute, pops its head up, goes down. I mean, that's what we're looking for. That's all we're looking for, moves like that to make our daily bread. Pops up, sets up, down. Pops up, it doesn't come all the way down, so you'd probably gotten shaken out of that, and we go higher. But look at the thing. So now look at this from 3 a.m. this morning, all the while we have been going down. Let's go dual time frame. Let's change that to 30. This is going to 4 hour. All right, so look at where you see where they're lining up. Now you have confluence between the 4 hour and the 30. Where this is going to come into play is in the tactical level of executing the strategy. Anytime the 4 hour, 30 minute, the 5 minute are lined up in confluence, you can increase your bet size. Outside of that, anytime you've got a bullish 4 hour, a bearish 30 minute, and you get signals on your 5 minute, 1 minute, you're just taking your normal money management bet size algorithm. If we're betting 5 times leverage, taking profits, we can increase 10, maybe up to 10x leverage, maybe 25x leverage anytime you get confluence like this. This is when you want to increase your bet size. It's not on a hunch, it's not on a gut feel, it's methodical, mechanical. When you have the 2 higher time frames lined up, and then your 2 tactical time frames are lining up as well, you got to increase your bet size. That's what makes a difference. All right, so you can follow this all the way back. I mean, it's trading in 2 time frames is it's like on 2 dimensions. You see here, looks like on the 4 hour, it's just like, man, that's just no entry. But you switch down to the 30 minute and look right here, you get that pop above, comes down, swoosh, you get the down move. You just follow this the whole way. This is what it looks like. It's still bearish on this time frame. It looks bullish here. On our normal time frame, 5 minute, 1 minute, we'd be taking long trades through this. But when we back into this, now the head's popped up again. When the 5 minute, 1 line up, we can increase bet size and play that to the downside. All right, so let's look at the tactical time frames. Yeah, so you can see here, let's get over here to the right. So over, yep. So starting here, you're doing nothing but taking short trades. As we get into the window, we're not. There's first entry right there. We cross down below. You could take those on this type of, especially when this is a variance of the program, but I'm leaning over here on this time frame. When I'm doing my own trading, I'm drawing trend lines underneath this stuff right here, so I'm looking for a break to the downside, because I know the 4 hours weak in a downtrend, 30 minutes in a downtrend, 5 minutes in a definite downtrend, and then we get this break swoosh down. All right, now we're back up again. We're looking for another entry. I'll talk about these entries, about crossing above and below. Those are variations, which are good. We would have probably gotten into this trade, probably would have canceled it back out at either a break even or a loss on this trade. But we're not taking long trades here because we're still short over here. So here we have an interesting, it's still bearish. Again, you're coming down, you take that. We pop back ahead, a chance to re-enter to get some more in that right there. So we're trying to get our 1% out of this if at all possible. Then you get the swoosh down. I think you kind of see what I'm talking about here. So again, these little consolidations, like you see here on the higher time frames, are, man, if that high doesn't get taken out, you're waiting for this right here. We swoosh down, you get in, back in. You might have gotten in right here. No cause for alarm because we haven't crossed back above this one. Swoosh back down. Okay. You can see I'm not really using this down here just yet because we have such well-defined trends. So now we're in a rally mode right now. So here I'd be drawing a trend line just to keep myself aware, as it rides up, and then looking for another entry to the downside to see if it's going to test that. All right, hopefully that explains how I use the time frames. So everything's in multiples of somewhere around 5 times. So 1 minute, 5 minute. So you know what we use those for. Then 5 times the 5 minute chart is really 25, but we're going to stick with 30 minute, which is close enough for what we're doing. And then we'll go to the 4 hour time frame. It's kind of the mother of all time frames. So that's kind of how that's kind of what we're going to use to develop our strategy. Multiple opportunities inside a 2 hour time frame. Hey, this took a little bit longer than I wanted to. I was going to try to keep it to 15 minutes, but hey, that's all I have for right now. We'll hook up on Teams at some point in time, let you guys digest this, and we'll go from there. Talk to you guys later.